This is Zohar. Rabbi Shimon says that we said before that the upper waters, the male waters, they're the main waters, but the lower waters, the female waters, they have to come up first, rise up first, and afterwards the upper waters, the male waters, can flow down. And this is talking about above in the unification of Chachma and Bina, which is wisdom and understanding, which is like the father and the mother, in order to give birth to thoughts, new thoughts, and new intellect, and bring that down to the Zer Anpin and Nukva, which is the 7 lower sphirot. And it's also lower down below in the unification between the Zer Anpin and the Nukva, between the 6 sphirot, which is Chesed, Gvura, loving kindness, strength, compassion and beauty, victory, splendor, and then foundation. And that all of those 6 are unifying with the kingdom, which is like the female. And that lower unification is what brings birth to souls. So this is the secret of the verse. And God said that the earth should bring forth grass. That's hinting also on lifting up the lower waters and to unify them with the wisdom and understanding, which is the Chachma and Bina, which is like the mother and the father. But it says that God said should bring forth grass. The earth should bring forth grass. It's talking with the name of God, which is Aleph Lamed Hey Yud Mem, which is the name of God, which is Vayamer Elohim Tedasheh Haaretz, right? So who is this talking about? The upper unification or the lower unification? So you might say that it's talking about lifting up the lower waters, rising up the lower waters of the kingdom, and that is also corresponds to the name of God, which is Aleph Lamed Hey Yud Mem, right? Because that's usually the way it refers to. This name of God refers to, we're talking about the kingdom. But lifting up the lower waters and the upper unification of wisdom and understanding, how does that relate to the same name of God? It's usually relating to something else, a different name. So Rabbi Shimon says to Rabbi Yossi, he says, yeah, it's true that both of them are called by this name of God, right? The thing is, there's Elohim Chaim, right? The living God, and that when you're talking about adding adding Chaim, which is life, right? You add that to the name, then you know it's talking about the upper unification of wisdom and understanding, and the lower unification is just without the additional word life, right? So it's just God, God's name, and that's how you can differentiate what we're referring to. And there's also a little bit of a difference between the two unifications. Because in the lower unification, it creates the souls. Like it says, and these are the offspring of the heaven and the earth. Ela toldot hashamayim v'haaretz. These are the offsprings of the heaven and the earth, which is the offsprings of the Zer, Anpin, and Nukva, right? The offsprings of the sixth Sefirot and the last sphere of kingdom, and this is called the sixth Sefirot and the kingdom are called the heaven and the earth. Bihi Baram, when they were created. So what is this word, when they were created? It's Bihi Baram is like bara, is like Bereshit bara. God created. Bara is created. So Bihi Baram is when it was created. So there's another way to read it. Instead of saying Bihi Baram, when it was created, you say Behei Baram. With the letter Hey, they were created. Okay? So what is the letter Hey? This is the kingdom, which is the letter Hey, the last letter Hey of God's name, of Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. So if you have God's name that has Yud, and then Hey, and then Vav and Hey, the last Hey refers to the kingdom. And the kingdom is what created, gave birth. Can you say it gave birth to the world? Okay. And out of this last letter Hey of the name of God, and which is the kingdom, so all the offspring comes out, and they're the souls that were created by the unification of the Zer, Anpin, and Nukva, of the six Sefirot and the kingdom Sefirah. And above in the unification of wisdom and understanding, they're like the parents, like the fathers of everything below them. It includes all the lower worlds and all the lower Sefirot that are below them, whether it's the six Sefirot or also the souls. It's like since it's above them and gave birth to the thoughts, to the ideas, to the mochin, right? So everything below is like its children, because it's the root of everything. But the kingdom, that's the main it's the main thing that works to give birth to the souls. And therefore, the land, the Aretz, the land, which is like the kingdom, the earth is like a kingdom, like the kingdom. It brought forth the offspring. It made the grass come out of the earth, because the earth, it's like it gets impregnated from the upper waters of the upper of the six sefirot of Zeranpin, and it brings forth offspring, just like a female gets pregnant from the male, but the wisdom, the upper wisdom, which is like the mother, is like the root of everything that's below it. And it's not, you don't really call it a offspring or a birth. It's more like a root, like a root of a tree. Rabbi Eliezer says that all the vegetables and the grass and all the plants, they were in the earth at that time. They were in the earth, just in potential, but the earth didn't bring out its potential strength, which is its offspring, right? Which is the actual plants to sprout out. Didn't bring them out, like until the sixth day. Like it said that these are the offspring of the heaven and earth, and that was only on the sixth day, number 6. Like it said, Totzeh haaretz nefesh chaya, the earth should bring forth a living soul. And that's when it brought this potential energy into action. And that was when the animals and all the animals and humans were created on the 6th day. That's the main settling of the world, when you have people. And people can actually appreciate the goodness of the plants. So it was only when there was people that could appreciate the plants, that's when it was as if the plants were created on that day. And if you'd say that already on the 3rd day, it says that the earth brought forth grass, that seems to imply that it actually was in actuality, in action, that the plants did come out of the earth. So he says, no, what it means is that the taking out of the grass from the earth to sprout the grass, so he says is that the plants were in potential. What does it mean? They were actually created, but they were like sprouts that were just growing up and reaching the surface. They were coming to the surface, but the sprouts didn't actually break through the surface yet. So it's called that it was in potential, but it actually was created, but it didn't break through the surface yet. And when man was created on the 6th day, that's when all the sprouts burst forth and came out of the ground. And that's how they actually came out in actuality. And all of this was actually hidden in the ground until it was needed to reveal them on the 6th day, when man was created. Because it says in the beginning, the land was tohu vavohu. The land was a big mix, it was just, everything was mixed up, tohu vavohu. And that means that it was like the land was empty, was rake. Rake is empty. That's what it means, tohu vavohu. What it means mixed up, it was just The land was empty. There was not anything on the land yet. And then on the third day, it was the strength of the land was fixed and settled on its own. And it received the strength of the roots of the seeds and the grasses and the trees in the way it should be. And after that, on the sixth day, it brought them forth actually into the world, which is the offspring of the heaven, and also the lights, like the stars, the sun, the moon, right? They weren't actually used in the world until they were needed to illuminate on the sixth day when man was created. Okay, so we'll hear some more tomorrow in the next class of Zohar with Sweeter Than Honey.